Alright, so in the next video we will try to show you how we basically manufactured those diffusers. There are 4 diffusers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we built a basement where we can also run some cables inside, and we put them all together. So we will start from when the wood and all the material came until we really set them up. Hope you like it. So we got the wood. It's very nice. This company is doing an amazing job. We just give them the rough dimensions, you know, of everything we build, and then of course all the small cuts we're doing ourselves. But the panels themselves, they're really big, so we cannot really afford to buy just the panels and cut everything. So we make the company do the first cuts, and then we receive usually a pallet like that. With this one, there is the material to build 4 diffusers, about 7 feet high, for 2 feet wide and 1 foot deep. You see, we're gonna lift it up, bring it up, start to select the pieces and start mounting the diffusers. This is great wood, it's pine tree. 3 layers, and is about 27 millimeters, 1 inch and a quarter, something like that. And it's amazing. You can really, it's nice to work with. It's kind of soft, but still have some nice mass. Some of our friends asked us if we could make a video explaining how to make up a diffuser. So what is a diffuser? This is a diffuser. A diffuser is basically an element, an acoustic element that receives the sound, boom, and it breaks it down in some special sub waves which are not interfering with the shape of the room. Now my explanation now is very basic. Very basic, doc, but basically this is how it works. You have a different style of diffusers. You have the 3D diffusers now, you can find them around. This is called 2D diffusers, and basically you can find them in many studios. But those diffusers, the first thing you need to get is a project, right? Like really a project. And so find an acoustic engineer first thing, because you need to, our acoustic engineer came here, measured the room, calculate all the different, again, basic explanation, the different, I don't even know what I want to say, but basically he calculates all the different values in order to calibrate and basically project this kind of babies. And they have a back, and the distance of the back varies, so the depth varies, and also, as you can see, there is also a width, and even the width varies accordingly. So basically there's a pattern, and in this case the pattern is the same, it's just reverse, plus we have a special leaning, so this is not straight, so there's an a special angle here that make it twist in a certain way. So everything has been calculated, and I don't know if you can see from the project because I've been drawing on it, but you could definitely see the distance, the width. This is millimeters, and basically what we need to do now is to replicate that. So first thing, find a good acoustic engineer. You will find our acoustic engineer email in the description, but you know, you can give him a call or just use your own, but don't try to improvise, because depending from how they're structured, you're gonna have the perfect response or not. So these diffusers cannot go in that room, those ones cannot come in this room, and vice versa. Now we're gonna show you how we do. The diffuser actually is not such a difficult piece to build. First of all, you need to, you know, you order your pieces, and we found this great company called Edilgroup, which we can just call. We tell them the dimensions, and you will find the link as well. And basically they cut the pieces for us. So as you can see here, we have different width. So this will be basically the back of the diffusers, while we have these ones that are instead what we call the blades. So what you have to do is, first of all, find the pieces. This is gonna come like this, then it's gonna be the next one, and so forth. So once you have all the backs cut, all the blades cut, then we have the two main sides and the base of the diffuser. So what we're gonna do now, first, plus find a nice space. Like, you need to have a very flat, nice space. We just put this one for that. So what we start to do now is basically assemble the different parts. As you can see now how this eventually will work. So this is basically the building space, and now slowly we're gonna build the diffuser. So it can be difficult if you start from one side and go to all the other sides, but a trick is to take the lower or the more deeper backs and just build them first. So you see, we don't see a single screw here, and this is what we want to do. We don't like to have a diffuser that can show all the screws. So technically, the first thing we want to do is to build the parts that we can screw, so it's much easier, but that they are on the back so we don't see them. Oh, you will understand soon what I mean. Third thing, you need to build these. What are these? This is the back. This is all pieces that we did, and this is the back basically of the shoulder. So why are we gonna build it like that? The concept is we're gonna put, you see, this is our like rear, and then we have one from the front, and we're gonna take one of our backs, and you see this gonna give us the perfect height. So we know already that this is the dimension that we want to have in place. So basically you need to cut these little blocks for each one of your elements, and we cut you know, you calculate them from the drawings. We cut the rear and the front, because then we're gonna use the clamps, and when the clamps gonna hold, if you have these blocks inside, then all the blades will stay in place. Otherwise the blades will tend to twist, and this is not good. So first, find an acoustic engineer. Second, find the material. Third, build these little backs, little pieces that will give you the perfect distance to the bottom. Alright, so now we screw and glue the sides of this first U, and Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put back in some of this, and then we're gonna start. So you see, some of them are easier, some of them are. And what we're gonna do now is make sure that we're gonna keep a certain distance, and then we're gonna clamp them up. So from one side and from the other side. So then when we're gonna remove it, we know that it should be pretty straight. Just a little patience, and it should work.
Fail.
Guess it's mistake. Okay, so we build these two U's, 1 and 2. We're just gonna let them rest. There is glue and screws. Screws every 8-inch, 20 centimeters, and you see the clamps is gonna hold it in place. And then when they're ready, we already have a good starting point to continue the building of the diffusers. So what we're gonna do now, we prepare for the holes to be set. So we're gonna start framing the box, the diffuser box, with the main frame. So we can also start to build the first back, which will be on the inside and you won't see. So then at the end we have one back and two U's already prepared, and then we can work it out to make it happen with just a quick job and without seeing any nails or screw around. So when we see them, say, wow, looking beautiful. There's nothing in the middle. All right, so we came back after our spaghetti with the tomato sauce and a lot of Parmesan cheese on top.
Nice.
Really good, nice. And the glue already started to work. So this one is basically done. And this is, we took away the clamps. This is the U, the first U that we set. So this U goes against this one. So that will be pretty easy now, just to show you how easy it was to start to frame it. And basically now only this side, see, then with some glue and some pressure will be enough. So 1, 2 is okay. Now we're gonna arrange. There's a third wing, how you call them, divider, to be put here, and then we have the other U, and then we have the end. So now we'll try to arrange this, and then basically we take out the other U, and then we should be able to have all the pieces. We put the glue in every place needed pretty fast, and then we're gonna clamp it out on the big with some big clamps, not the small ones we had before, but this baby here, so we can clamp them, boom, like that, and put all the dividers in the middle, the little blocks, and then we should be good to go. All right, so we basically set up the old diffusers. You see, they're still loose, and again we have this U here, which is stable, this U here, which is stable, then we put some screws on the middle one, and now we basically have one side to glue, two sides to glue, 3 sides, 4 sides, and eventually we have the last one here, 5, and then the bottom one, which is here, 6. So the trick is now we dismantle it, and we will try basically to put the proper glue on the more outside one, and then glue and measures, glue and measures, glue and measures, and we come to this side. After that, because we have these blocks maintaining the distance, so everything is really neat and tight, we're gonna make it on another video, on another clip. We can twist our big clamps, and eventually everything will be tightened up, so the glue actually will work without basically showing any nails coming out or any other screws. And that's beautiful. They really look amazing. Like you say, wow, how could you do that? And that's the reason why there's not even one little piece of metal you can see. So that's how we did. We've been hiding the screws on the inside as much as we can, and so that we had already some pre-built pieces in order to make it much easier to build the whole thing, because it's complicated, it's a little tricky. So the plan worked. We're sticking everything together, and then calm and quiet, we placed these clamps, 3 in the front and 2 in the back, and we made sure that in the line of pressure, so where the clamp is really holding everything together, we have the perfect blocks of thickness, so that there won't be any flexing of any layer of wood, but everything will keep the perfect distance, and the distances will be respected in 3 points here and 2 in the back. So these 3 are, let's say, half forward in terms of pressure, and the other 2 are half back. Then of course we have been screwing the bottom and the top also on the main back, on each back. Then we verified with the project every distance, was perfect. So we don't forget to verify that, because sometimes it could happen that one of the backs for some reason just slide a little off, and then that's a problem. Then you cannot come back. So make sure everything is really in place, and then you can really tighten up your clamps. And here on the back you could see basically is the same thing. We put these dividers. This is the back. Later on we will fill it up with flam rock, and then we will put the back, which is here, one of those pieces here. So but before that, you see, we still have to make sure that the pressure on the back equalizes the pressure on the front. So now we have the base and the bottom, the top and the bottom, tighten it up. We've been screwing some screws here holding in place the backs, and then clamping the back and the front, and you can see that there is glue everywhere that is being pressed apart. On the top part, with just a very wet finger, you can go through the seams and take it away the little glue. So at the end, the glue will become transparent, and basically you won't see a thing. And don't forget that we still have to sand and to paint here. So this is what we do. We make it rest for tonight, and tomorrow morning we can just clamp it off and use the same blocks for the last diffuser. So this is the small stand base that we put on the bottom of the diffusers. You can see here how it works. So we could slant them up. So the first thing that we created, the shape of it, and then just it's very simple. It's just a reinforcement in the middle, so it won't flex, and we put a nice hose in the middle, just in case we wanna pass some cables. Now we're gonna close it up, and this is gonna be put on some rubber. This kind of rubber, of course, strips that we're gonna put underneath, and then here on top, then we're gonna put 2 diffusers, one like this and the other one like that. So we're able to slant them. The diffusers, we're gonna bolt them down, and then at the end we're gonna be able to shape them the way we want. So it's just a base. Okay, so basically here we have again the 4 basic material with which you can build up your own studio. Wood, flam rock, high density flam rock, sheet rock. You hear it? And rubber. This is the fourth element, which it's very good because we put every element floating on some rubber. You can buy some industrial rubber. Now we made 2 layers. We put some double adhesive tape, and now we're gonna put one like this, and then the second one we're gonna put it here. Then the third one, which will be connecting also the second piece here. And then basically when we're gonna put down this, now of course you have to do it properly, but this will be floating, and also so it won't be touching the floor. And of course we're gonna put a little piece of rubber also on the back. So basically the two diffuser that's gonna host it won't touch the back, won't touch the floor. So all the vibration will not be transmitted to anything physical. And this is finally how we treated the back. So we just put some high density flam rock, 60 kilograms per cubic meter density, and we just fill up. This is the back of the diffusers. Now we're gonna put and screw the back, and then the diffuser is finally ready to be put against the wall. Okay, so we finally had our diffusers in place, and they're part of this amazing studio with this incredible natural sound that we built with our hands. And again, we have some Helmut's resonators with the bass traps on the back, moving gobos with the absorbing part and reflective part, absorbing part, another gobo here, Helmut's resonator again here and all around the corner parts, and then connections of course with every studio 2, 3, 4, studio 1 over there, and then connection also with the camera for studio 3 and 4 so they can see us. And of course we have studio 2 can be seen through the window, and studio 1 through the window. So that's it. It's been a long journey, but we have now our recording room.